Fujifilm is a company that's found a special place in the hearts of both photographers, videographers, and the general public. Their corporate slogan, "Value from Innovation," has pushed them to create not only very technically capable cameras, but also cameras that have a unique charm and personality all on their own. Of those personalities, the X100 series, and for me, the X100F, has become a fan favorite among the photography community and the internet these days. What's special about these cameras is the experience they provide. They inspire, invite you to engage with the world, and ultimately invites the world to engage with you. At the point of this recording, I've actually sold my copy of the X100F. So I wanted to take some time to look back on my experiences with the camera, reflect on some reasons on why I personally decided to let it go, as well as maybe give you a couple of reasons on why it may be your next camera. I purchased the camera back in 2018 because I wanted something that I could use around the house, with my friends when I'm out and about, and just general use and documentary photography. Specs are important for me, but between the different iterations of the camera, you can't really go wrong with any of them. The reason why I chose the F over the previous versions is for the improved autofocus system, as well as the inclusion of the manual focus assist toggle, or just the focus assist toggle, I guess. I primarily shot this camera in autofocus single because I found it to be really intuitive and most akin to my personal photography style. I used wide tracking and continuous focus rarely, but it did work when in a pinch. The camera does have a few manual focus assist tools like picture-in-picture viewing as well as into focus, but personally I found it to be a little bit difficult because of the way the focus ring is set up. It is focused by wire and not linear, which makes repeat zone focusing or manual focusing not as intuitive as one would like. By now you've probably all heard of the praises of the Fujifilm simulation modes, and it's a really great starting point or even finishing point for any person when they want to share images. For my own personal workflow, I always edit my images after the fact, but when I did want to share images and didn't mind the baked-in look, I enjoyed Provia and Pro Negative. One of the unique charms of the X100F, and the reason why I think most people are drawn to it, is there's a manual knob or button for almost every single feature of this camera. These manual controls allow you to be precise in how you capture your image, as well as providing a tactile experience for the operator. What makes it great though is the camera doesn't force you to run it completely manual. If you want, the aperture, the shutter, the ISO can all be set to auto. And when done so, it creates a package that you can hand off to anyone that allows them to create beautiful images easily and quickly. Earlier I said that there's a charm to this camera, and when you're using it, it definitely has a personality on its own. It's smart, it's flirty, it's charismatic. When you see it, it invites you to be curious. This camera is one of the few that actually has people approaching me when I'm out and about taking photos. And maybe that's why this camera is so good at travel, street, and just general documentary style photography. In these particular fields, the emphasis is placed on the subject you're photographing. The 23mm lens, 35mm full frame equivalent, means you're going to be fairly close to the subject you're photographing. And when you're sharing that level of intimacy with a person, having a camera that's small and not imposing makes it really nice. It's a camera that allows you to slip into the crowd if you don't want to, draw attention to yourself, but at the same time makes introductions really easily. I've taken this camera with me to Nevada, Colorado, DC, Michigan, and even South Korea. And each time I brought the camera with me, I'm extremely happy with the images I've come away with. I know that I've gotten images that would not have been as easy to capture on a large camera, and the fidelity is definitely greater than one that I could have captured on my phone. Given everything I've said though, I've decided to let this camera go because I just have way too many cameras, honestly. And I recently acquired the X Pro 3 over the last year, and that has been the camera that I brought with me in lieu of the X100F. I truly think we've gotten to a point where there's a diminishing point in return of image quality. Once you get to that point, it really is more about the experience that the camera provides you and the certain use cases that you want to use the camera with. Ultimately, this will depend on the type of photography you want to do, but I think for most people, the X100F is going to check a lot of boxes. And honestly, I hated seeing the X100F on my camera shelf just collecting dust. And looking back at all the wonderful experiences it provided me, I wanted to hand it off to someone who would also, be able to go on those adventures and share new experiences with the camera. I've been conflicted on how I view camera gear in the last couple of years. You could take a utilitarian approach to the cameras and see them as tools to help you in telling a story and capturing images, and these people would be right. But at the same time, I also view these cameras as companions, as friends. They help us find clarity in the story we want to tell and point us in the right direction when we're lost. They inspire us, push us forward. But like any companion or friend in our lives, there comes a time where we'll have to part ways and each continue our journey wherever life may take us. But hey, who knows? Maybe somewhere down the road, we'll see each other again.